Well, earlier on the show, we were asking, believe it or not, when it came to the KVJ show, one of the questions that came up, do you believe that Kev will get any action here in 2018?
And you were kind of coy, like maybe there was something that had already happened.
Well, he didn't look defeated in his beady eyes. They actually lit up. They sparkled.
There was some optimism in this face.
There was.
It's rare, but we saw a twinge of it.
Yeah.
This is post-hair. We're living in different times. It's a different time now.
There's some great news. There is some great news.
Okay.
I did have some action over the weekend.
Okay.
You did.
Get some music. Celebrate good times.
Come on.
Oh, it was big.
Let's celebrate.
And I think I got to thank the royal wedding. I think that was a big part of what happened. Yeah.
Now,
Prince Harry got you laid?
No, the only thing Harry that got him laid was that hair on his head. That's what it's about, my
That's what
man.
we should name your hair. Prince Harry.
Prince Harry. Yeah.
No, he's a king.
Yeah. Well, here was the situation, everything that kind of came about with it.
Okay.
Was, we're kind of in a position now where, I've told you, our son Cannon has been like in the bed for the longest time. And we're starting to try to make that transition. And we have, but it's hard to get him out of the room. So we had this little retreat. And we went away, and so it was just the Queen and I in the bed together.
Oh, he wasn't with you.
He wasn't in the bed with us.
Where was he?
Well, this is the problem that I have. He was in the room in the bed next to us.
Oh.
Okay.
He was in the room on the bed next to you guys.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right, so...
Someone's repeating the patterns?
So that's when you guys go for it? Really? Then?
I know your stories from childhood. You're repeating the patterns of your parents.
Yeah, I had mixed emotions about it. I just, it had been a seriously long drought. It had been a while. And
we know.
Even to the point where the Queen is like, hey, look, I mean, this is important. We gotta make a conscious effort to get this thing going. Now, the struggles, and the struggles in my life, just so you know, like during the week, our schedules don't mesh up. I go to bed
early.
I go to bed right about the time, and sometimes she gets home after I'm already in bed. So weeknight schedules don't mesh up. So we have a weird schedule that not your traditional couple has.
Sure.
Having the kid in the bed, that presents a whole different issue, and he's basically like an only child because his brother and sister have been off to school, and so there's a lot of time that you got to keep him occupied. And
he's 10 now, right?
He's 9.
9,
going to be 10 soon. But it's one of those things where he easily will barge into the room. You never know when,
right?
And emphatically, and so there's barriers to that. And so, my wife was watching the royal wedding on her phone, and it just, I don't know.
It got her in a romantic mood.
It kind of got the juices flowing.
Absolutely not. That's not what happened. No, you got to be honest with yourself. It's because of the hair. The hair.
Oh, okay,
I'm sorry.
The hair's not hurting, but I think the royal wedding did probably help too.
No,
maybe it was a few different factors that came together.
No, there's been so many things in pop culture, big, televised. He didn't get laid for her.
Well, he's had the hair for a couple of weeks. She wasn't jumping on it last weekend.
It doesn't matter.
You're right. I think it might be a perfect storm of things coming together. Yeah.
You know how we women are. We're complicated beasts.
Mm-hmm.
It takes more than one thing to warm the oven.
Yeah. So it did happen. So I'm emphatic. I thought it was, fantastic. It was a great opportunity.
It's the best 3 minutes of your life.
You want that long?
2.5. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We had a commercial break. She wanted to get back to the action.
So was Cannon sleeping?
He was, and there was, and trust me, I was conflicted. Because you're like, well, this probably is not right. This is not how it should go down.
So it's like camouflage sex then.
This might be the only chance I have.
Yeah, and it was to the point where, my wife was, bringing it up, saying, hey, look, like, this needs to happen. Like, it was to the point we had things were a little abrasive towards the tail end of the week. We were having some issues. And it was something that, needed to happen. We needed to have that kind of cleansing, in our relationship. And what a better way to cleanse any, sore feelings that are going on than to just,
makeup.
Right. But you don't get a lot of chances.
Royal wedding or not, if you don't have that hair, Kevin comes back with not getting laid. I'm telling you, I believe that with all of my heart.
Really?
It may have played a part in it.
Mm-hmm. But I got to tell you, there is some guilt that is weighing on me a little bit.
Do you think there's a chance the boy could have woke up?
Gosh, I hope not.
Because when you were a boy,
I know.
You need to talk about this.
Right.
So, I mean, my mind goes to this. What type of sex was it? Were you guys like snug? Because you can't have her on top of you because that's gonna be too. Well, I'm just saying, was there a blanket? Was it kind of like you're snuggling,
fully covered,
snuggling like you're watching TV, and there's just a little hip movement going on that no one can see? Or is there?
I mean, it wasn't.
Okay, let's act like we're doing that game where you ask people what position were you guys doing?
Well, I mean, it was a lot of the
standards.
A few, just like two.
Blanket covered you.
Yeah, fully
Lights
covered.
Out.
Yeah, fully covered.
I don't want to ask this question, but I have to just because I'm a journalist.
I've never heard someone more ridiculous be said. I'm a journalist.
Was there moaning? Was there a Kev grunt?
No, I think we're pretty good with that.
No sounds at all?
I think it was relatively restrained. And here's the thing. Sometimes when you are caught up in moments, you may think that things...
Oh, I've heard you work out before. You are a grunter. There's no way a grunt didn't sneak out.
I don't know. I hope not. But when... I know that when it began and when it was over, he was still in the same place sleeping, and so I assume he was. Well,
he didn't move.
Right, and his head was turned away from us. So I mean, I don't feel as bad because of that.
When Cannon gets his own radio show in his 20s, he's going to tell the story. So that one time my dad thought I was...
Oh, I know, yeah.
I was sleeping. I told us how my parents
family tradition, pass it down. And then he'll finally get to the point where he tells the story of like, so I had a 9-year-old that just was always,
Let me tell you about your great-grandpappy Ralston.
Would you do this, Virginia, in the same room?
In the same room would be tricky.
I know.
We have a trick that I think it really works well. So Rocco loves bath time.
Mm-hmm.
And Rocco will be in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And we'll leave the door open to the bathroom, but he can't see into the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And so we know when Rocco's in the bath, if he's having a good time, he'll stay in there for a good 15, 20 minutes and have playtime and not care about anything else.
Oh, that's a good strategy,
and we can hear him, and we put on his video, his little puppy dog pals. We put that on in the bathroom.
But that's a different room, though. Would you do it in the same room?
I don't know if I could pull it off.
Yeah.
And you definitely are not quiet.
Never been.
Mm-hmm.
In anything you do.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, so like I said, I walked away and there was some, very happy that, broke the drought. But
but
not overly thrilled with how it went down. But I going back, I think I'd probably do it again. I think it still was the right move, but I am conflicted.
It'd be nice if you could have sex without feeling so guilty after.
I know, you're right. Yeah, I hear you.
Are you sure you're not Catholic?
I'm not, actually. You're right. I carry a lot of guilt for a guy that's not.
You sound real Catholic right now.